Welcome to the debut episode of Stories in Cyber, the ISACA New Jersey podcast. Founded in 1969, ISACA, which stands for Information Systems Audit and Control Association, has been a global force dedicated to advancing the realms of information governance, risk management, and cybersecurity. Here's the thing, ISACA is more than just a global organization. It's a global community. And we're not just a name, we're a network of like-minded professionals consisting of local chapters with tailored resources that empower individuals and businesses. So whether you're in the heart of New Jersey or halfway across the world in New Delhi, you are not too far from the support and opportunities that ISACA chapters can provide. In this episode, we want to dive into what you can expect from Stories in Cyber, and to give you a glimpse into our podcast mission. We'll share our goals, introduce you to our fascinating guests, and provide a sneak peek at the topics we'll explore in the episodes to come. So without further ado, let's get started. Guys, and welcome. I am your host, Yevgeny Baranovsky. I'll be conducting interviews of ISACA members, professionals, industry leaders. Today with us, we have Kerwyn Velasco, a senior product marketing manager, and Adnan Rafiq, who's a distinguished figure in the world of healthcare and information security. Let's start with Kerwyn. I want to talk a little bit about you. Can you tell us who you are, how long you've been with ISACA, and actually tell us more about the organization itself?
Yeah, Gene. I've been a part of ISACA for I want to say 7 years, right? Ever since I passed my certification exam. So ISACA offers certifications, and one of them is called the Certified Information Security Manager. And I passed that 7 years ago. And since then, I was like, I want to get signed up. I want to get part of this organization. And since then, it's been 3 years since I've been really active in the community here at ISACA, specifically New Jersey. Nice. You know, obviously we're right now recording in New York City. There's a New York City ISACA. There's all local chapters that you mentioned. And I really wanted to contribute to my local ISACA because I have a lot to be thankful for regarding ISACA and the New Jersey chapter. So it's really exciting. And plus we get to do cool things like make this podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
We share that in common. I got involved with ISACA because I feel like it has done something wonderful for me too. Mm-hmm. But thank you. Where did you first hear about ISACA?
Yeah. So I'm gonna rewind back so I don't look very old, but I graduated college in 2008. That was, if you remember 2008, I'm sure you do. I'm not sure you were maybe too young, but it was the summer that Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers collapsed, actually. So I actually graduated from college as an accounting student, thinking that I'm going to be a partner at an accounting firm like Deloitte and Touche or PwC or Ernst & Young.
Big dreams.
Yeah, big dreams. And so I decided the fastest way to do this, to become a partner, is to get some hands-on experience in accounting. Right? If you did some stints in that as well, or not?
No, just hands-on and all those stuff, but not way far from accounting. That's not my area. But yeah.
It's okay. So I come from it's great that we all have very diverse backgrounds. Right. I really do appreciate that, and that's actually very reminiscent of the breakdown of the chapter itself, actually. Right. So there's a lot of diverse backgrounds. So going back to my story, back in 2008, the collapse of Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers, I was looking for a job. And so, like I said, I wanted to be an accountant. I wanted to be a public accountant. I would be a partner. And so, one of the things as part of that, like I said, I passed the CISM exam. That's why I joined ISACA. Mm-hmm. I wanted to pass the CPA exam.
Wow.
All right. And that's, I'm not sure if you guys know, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Right? Actually, but wanted to ask you. Yeah. So, I'm personally familiar with how difficult the CPA exam is. I don't know about our audience, but maybe for some, you can compare the two exams. How would you compare them?
So both of them are actually, you do both exams on computers, at a testing center, and they're broken down into several parts, right? But the CPA exam does have 4 subparts that are independent, versus the CISM exam where it's all one shot. And I think like 2.5 hours. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
it's similar with the CISP, right? And other.
yeah, we can talk about later because CISM is pretty different. But yeah, to going back, it takes 3 hours and number of questions um, and the type of the questions are very different. If maybe a different topic, we can go deeper. CISP versus CISM,
For sure.
it's a whole lot different, and it really depends like what kind of career you want to be. I've seen people with both CISM and CISSP, but eventually, sometimes you need both. Sometimes you don't really need it because it depends where you want it to be, basically.
Yeah.
And they both require different expertise. That's for sure. Which it's not the same, basically.
Yeah.
Nice. So it sounds like we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So, but going back to like how I heard about ISACA, right?
Yeah.
Like where we were at, I'm trying to be a CPA. It's too tough, right? I was so frustrated. I'm not sure about like how you guys prepare for tests, but the way I do it was like I get question bank, I get all the notes, I go and do the videos, I do Kaplan, and there's all these resources online. Or back then in 2009 to like get you prepared for taking this exam. And what ended up happening is that I burned myself out because I both studied and worked at the same time. I'm sure you guys have, and a lot of our listeners have done the same thing. And so I asked my friend who was working, I think it was at Witham Smith and Brown, as a local accounting firm, if you didn't know, around here in New Jersey, and I'm sure it's global too. But he said, like, why are you killing yourself for this? Like you should do what I do. I'm like, what do you do? It's like I do IT audit, and I'm like, it sounds so much better than what I'm doing. I'm like doing invoice testing. You probably do some similar testing in the IT realm. I did that as well after that. But like I did a lot of like just financial boring stuff, and IT audit sounds so much cooler. And he was a CISA, which is another certification.
Oh yes,
right. Stands for, remind me. It was
a Certified Information Security Auditor.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the most common one. Go ahead. Yeah.
That is the most common one. And if you go on ISACA's website, it's actually the most prevalent one that you get the best bang for your buck, actually.
Good to know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you know. And like, there's a ton of other like certifications out there aside from ISACA, but like, the ones that they offer that are the best and well known are the CISA, the auditor, and the CISM.
And just to add, there can be another topic on that where we can talk about CISA certification. Who is it for? Versus CISM versus C-risk. These are top three. CISM, the one he has certified, I'm also certified. CISA is the known one, and C-risk.
So I'll be more than happy to dive deep and break all of that down. I think that's one of the most complex topics when it comes to cybersecurity.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in having setting your sights on a certificate in order to get you into the industry. And so it's an important topic that we'll definitely dive into.
Yes.
So how did you end up with ISACA?
Yeah. So like I mentioned, like I decided I purposely wanted to change my career. So I pivoted like 5 years into being an accountant. I pivoted to I wanted to do IT audit. Let me find an accounting firm. I found one. And, to be honest, I took a little bit of a pay cut in order to do that work, just to get that experience.
Sometimes
I know we all do, right? Yeah. You do what you got to do. And what ended up happening was I met some great people. And actually, those great people are current members of ISACA today, New Jersey.
Excellent.
So let me ask you a question. How was it? I am very curious to know accounting to InfoSec that changed the experience, especially for the first year.
Yeah. So it was really interesting because as an IT auditor to do more InfoSec, do internal audit or like compliance type of work, it was very different compared to doing financial work. Right? For financial work, you're doing work papers tying to trial balances and income sheets and balance sheets and saying, all right, did all of the, was correctly depreciated, that type of stuff, right? Versus if you're doing testing and auditing for IT assets, you're saying, all right, can we trust the controls that are associated with these items that are in scope? We are testing Active Directory.
Right.
And what I'm saying, are all the changes in Active Directory accurate? Because the thing is, whoever has those changes might have access to a certain level of an accounting system, which I use as a financial auditor, to manipulate the financials. right? And that's what I actually did as my first real gig in IT audit after doing a little bit of consulting was led a team to do Sarbanes-Oxley
Yes,
compliance.
very
So, and you did this with nothing but your accounting experience from school.
Yes, and the thing is, I think if you talk to a lot of people in our chapter and people also in other associations, they do like the fact that you have an accounting background because you have this
Yeah.
stability of understanding. I think the best thing I could say about what accounting degrees have given me in my background in IT is that it gives me the sense of I don't trust something 100%. I don't believe in absolutes, right? And I think everyone should keep that in mind. You don't say oh, you are 100% you can avoid risk 100%.
No, that's not possible.
Exactly.
You always mitigate it or reduce it.
Exactly. You can reduce it, you can mitigate it, but it will never go to 100%
Yeah.
no risk, 0% or 100%. So if you believe in absolutes, you are not trained to be an accountant or an auditor.
Interesting. So for the audience, part of the audience that maybe is in another industry altogether now,
Yeah.
is it safe to say that no matter your background, you can utilize it if you decide to come to cybersecurity? It'll be
I've worked with people that have such varied schooling, such varied experiences. I've worked with people who were in education, people who were writers. I worked with people also who had very engineering focused backgrounds. Right? You can
So
find out.
so I want to add again. Every time I'm speaking, I'm going to talk about more and more opportunity for different new topics. That's the whole idea of this podcast, to give more ideas and which can lead to a successful career path.
Mhm.
So this is one of the area that, as he was mentioning, from different backgrounds come to ISACA and what are the opportunities like audit. So one of the significant difference when you cybersecurity is more of, if I can say, of hard skills get more involved. Like really need to be knowing how to set up a Palo Alto firewall, for example.
okay.
So you would not see in ISACA. ISACA is about making sure things are there, what you say. That's where the audit comes in.
Right.
But do you need to have a technical experience? Yes, it helps. Okay, second question, what if it doesn't have? Yeah, there's an opportunity for people to grow in that career as well. So that's the beauty what ISACA offers, and that was a game changer for me in my career as well. So we'll talk about it.
So you're saying that ISACA will help you pivot to where it is you'll be.
Yeah, definitely. They have so many certification and career paths to choose from, and there's of course room no matter.
I think the beauty of this organization is that it helps through these events, right? You
Yeah.
get to meet and network with people. You get to talk to different people with different opinions and who can actually get to know you and help you find your direction.
Yeah, I'll defer this question to him because he's the one who's been organizing a lot of events, and he
Yeah.
can add more. And I think, yeah, go ahead.
Actually, the next question I wanted to ask you, being the founder of this podcast
Yeah.
here, what kind of intentions do you have with it?
So there's two, I guess, two approaches I wanted to make sure we accomplish when it comes to this podcast. It's very important to reach out to the people that are part of our members. They just make sure everyone understands. If you don't know ISACA and the monetary aspect of it, everyone who is a member pays to be a member of our chapter. You could choose to be a member of New York or Pennsylvania or Greater Washington, but they choose to be a member of ISAC New Jersey. And the thing is, there are so many great people that have hard skills, soft skills, backgrounds in various things. I want their stories to be heard, right? So that we could highlight them and make people aware that their stories are real. Their experiences can be gleaned great value. The second thing is, I want ISACA Global, to know that we exist. Right? It's very hard, I'll be honest. Being a chapter wedged between a Herculean chapter like New York City and other chapters like New England, the great like Connecticut and Philadelphia. How do we differentiate, right? And that's what I want to do. I want it that we actually have very good at highlighting people's stories, our personal stories, your stories, and highlighting it to global. So that, again, advocating for people inside, advocating for the chapter and its people outside.
All right.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. Looking forward to that. And being the host, I'm probably gonna have the most fun.
Yes.
You guys are gonna come along with me, obviously, but that's exciting. Cool. So you talked about setting New Jersey apart, the New Jersey chapter. Can you talk a little bit about the events we had or we're going to have, maybe to tell our audience what this is all about?
Yes. So we ever since coming out of COVID, like, it's very important for us to have in-person events where we are networking, when we are having real conversations, making it so that people have real connections to one another. Okay. We also want to make sure that people are equipped for taking those same certifications that I mentioned before, right? So making sure that they can pass the C-risk the first time, or CISM or CISA.
And don't worry about the acronyms now. We'll break it all down for you guys.
Or maybe they can find in the YouTube description.
Yeah, we'll put in the notes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so you can get started now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, like, we want to make sure that everyone is well equipped for taking those exams and passing it the first time. Again, one of the things that got me into it, I'm sure other people, is they passed an exam. That's why they started paying for ISACA in the first place. All right. But again, since they pay for those things, we want to make sure that people get the value out of them paying for New Jersey. So other events we're going to have is a lot of networking events so that fun times we have it all. We plan an event hopefully by like February where we're going to have like a scavenger hunt in the spring. And typically what happens at the end of the year, we have what we call an AGM, an annual general meeting. And that's where, like, actually I've met a lot of you. You were there last year, right? And then in the summer we have fun stuff. Jane, you went to the fun stuff before. We have volunteer meetings where we focus on people trying to be part of the chapter and to volunteer to eventually be board members. And then we have fun things like a holiday gala that would happen last Friday, and a summer party, end of the year summer party, so that we can involve our families. Because I think a big aspect that I would love to have to cover eventually is the balance between being a parent, and we are all parents here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and our careers. I think that's a very good thing to highlight, especially the fact that, like, our kids are, it's a little bit different now in COVID. I'm not sure if you guys had your kids going through education. I'm sure your kids older a little bit, I believe.
Yeah, they go to school, I know.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different now when it comes to, like, what they learn and the experience they have. Very different compared to when I was growing up. So that's what I want to make sure that we include our families, because we can't deny that we have those people in our lives.
Yeah. Awesome. These podcasts are aimed to be brief and direct, to talk about and highlight the members of ISACA. And obviously we're starting off with the founder of the podcast. We plan to talk a little bit about my experiences, about Adnan. He knows a lot of interesting stuff. I can't wait to ask him a bunch of questions. Before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to mention?
Yes, like, I think one of the important things to have when having a thing like this is asking feedback from people, all right? This is an ongoing thing. Again, we don't believe we're the best right now. I want to make sure that we hear our members. If they want to hear certain topics, we cover them. Love feedback, love reviews, right? Make sure that they go to our website. We'll link it in the description below so that they can access more of the great content we have and events that we might have in the future. For instance, my eventual plan is to have a live version of this for us to have at a college, and then we can invite students to come and ask questions.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to add, and those who are watching after this on the YouTube, this is a good opportunity. If you put in the comments, we are watching. We're going to watch that thread.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to suggest any topic, about certification, career pathways. Yeah, so that's the best way to just put it there and provide and how we can improve it.
Yeah, and maybe we'll even discuss your comment live on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Why not?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed getting to know Kerwyn, Adnan, a little bit about myself. Actually, we're going to be talking more about myself in the next episode. I'm excited for it. Kerwyn's going to be asking me a bunch of questions, and Adnan as well. So thank you for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next one. Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.